Hi, welcome to Food for You. My name's Jada and I will be your host. We are going to talk about the importance of cooking at home and why it's important for your mental and physical well being. So, the importance of cooking at home today, our topic is health. It is overall healthier for you to cook at home than it is for you not to. Plenty of people eat out every day, and in today's society, with how often people tend to eat out, we tend to lean more towards fast food, especially due to cost of inflation and everything else. Now, nothing against fast food. I love myself some fast food actually, and it's a great way of convenience. But convenience is also one of the reasons that people tend to eat out a lot. And that shouldn't be a reason. We should eat out because we enjoy where we are going to eat, not because, oh my, I don't have time to cook. I'm just going to pick up Happy Meals for the whole family or something of that sort. Which there's nothing wrong with that either. There are plenty of nights growing up that, my parents brought home food, and there are plenty of nights that we had leftovers and cooked and everything else. And that's because it is good for you to do both. Having a healthy medium within eating out and cooking at home is important. But people tend to overeat whenever they eat out because they feel like they need to eat their money's worth. So that's not always the case. You don't have to eat your money's worth or your money's worth whenever you're eating out. That's why we also take so many things to go whenever we eat out, is because we feel like it is a necessity to have to. So actually, today I'm going to teach y'all how to make a healthy-ish. I call it healthy-ish because I don't think all of your meals have to be absolutely healthy. And today, even though our topic and main focus is health, there's a lot better things out there that you can have than just a salad or something else. So I will actually put the nutritional values of this chicken at the end of the meal. But if y'all haven't noticed yet, right now I have been cutting up chicken breasts into bite-sized pieces. You just need about 2 pounds. Depends on how many people you're feeding. I am feeding 3 people. So I probably don't even need that much, but we like leftovers in this household, so I'm gonna toss that. Okay. Whenever you're cutting your chicken, you're also gonna make sure you get any tendons off of the chicken because those are just become tough and chewy as you use them. Now I cut with gloves on because I do not enjoy touching the meat. However, it won't kill you to touch it. You can always just wash your hands afterwards. I just don't like the texture of it. So a benefit of cooking at home is actually you will know everything that goes into your body. Knowing what you consume is overall beneficial to your health because there's a lot of things that go into products and meals today that we don't know about at all, actually. So if I can find it, half tablespoon. Okay, y'all have to forgive me. I don't tend to measure items. However, for you, I'm going to. So you are going to need a teaspoon and a tablespoon for this recipe. Now, I like to season with my heart. I suggest everybody else does the same, but sometimes our hearts can lead us in the wrong direction. So instead, we're going to season with our measurements today. So what I have right here is about 2 pounds of chicken, which I'm going to toss into a Ziploc bag. You can do this in a bowl. I prefer to do it in a Ziploc bag. I think it's a little bit easier with cleanup. I feel like everything gets a little bit more dispersed. which to me is important. So once you're done with your cutting board and everything, you're going to go and put this in the sink. We're not going to use this for anything else right now. We'll clean it off. An important part about cooking at home is also knowing the proper cleanup techniques, because if not, somebody's going to get sick. We don't want anybody getting sick. So first things first, what we are going to need is, hold on, I forgot something. How could I forget? Olive oil. You're going to use probably, I'm not going to measure with this because I need to use that here in a second. First, we are going to drizzle some olive oil inside the bag with the chicken. You just need enough to make sure all the seasonings and everything are going to stick and be evenly coated throughout everything. Then you're going to take 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. Then we are going to take half a teaspoon of cornstarch. We are also going to take a full teaspoon of onion powder, a full teaspoon of garlic powder, and y'all, you can add way more or way less to this. Probably should have told you this earlier. What we're making today is garlic butter chicken bites. So then we are going to do a teaspoon of basil, a teaspoon of oregano, I hate these little shaker tops, y'all. I really do. I feel like they get my way more than anything else. A teaspoon of oregano. Then I forgot something else too. You're also going to do a teaspoon of paprika, which is over here. Paprika. And go throw in my trash. Keeping a clean work area is also important. So, and if you wear long sleeves like I do, make sure you keep your sleeves up. You don't want to get those dirty. A teaspoon of paprika. Now we're going to do a teaspoon of salt. This is just the, that's not going to work. This is just pink Himalayan salt. You don't have to use this kind. You can use any kind. It's just what I had on hand. A teaspoon of salt. And now black pepper to taste. Now, I'm a big black pepper person, so if you know me, you know I'm probably going to use a good chunk of it. We're going to do about probably a teaspoon of black pepper. So yeah, once all that has been added to your bag, this is the fun part, is you are going to shake up everything in this bag and get it all good. You're done mixing your bag. Yeah, I have a face around there. It should look something like this. You'll see all of your seasonings. They should be covering the chicken. And at this point in time, if you feel like there is not enough or too little, this is when you should add more. However, I think we're good and we're ready to go. Next step is putting it in the pan. Okay, so I know y'all can't see me, but don't fret, I'm still here. We are actually going to get ready to cook these chicken bites. And with doing that, we're going to cook them in olive oil. Now, you already saw me add olive oil to the chicken, but we're gonna add a good heaping amount into the pan. Now, we're gonna wait for that oil to get hot and the pan to get hot before we add any of the chicken in here. So yeah, we have been waiting for this olive oil to get hot. It should be good now. And what we are gonna do is we're gonna take our bag of chicken. Here's a closer view of what it's supposed to look like in the bag. Now, if you did this in a bowl, of course it's not gonna look like that, but it should look fairly similar to everything else. So what we are going to do is grab a pair of tongs, and when the oil is hot enough, it should make sizzly noises the second we put down the chicken. Oh yes, there we go. So you're going to want to cook the chicken until it reaches an internal temperature of 165 if you're paranoid about that or you've never cooked chicken before. And if you have cooked chicken before, just cook it until the chicken is done and you are satisfied with the crispiness. An easier recipe for this, and if you're wanting a little bit more spice to it and seasoning scares you, get the spicy Hidden Valley Ranch seasoning and put that as your seasoning over the chicken with a little bit of garlic powder added in. By a little bit, I probably mean also a teaspoon of garlic powder. Give it a little bit of sear. Now, y'all, chicken actually doesn't take as long to cook as what many people assume it does. The biggest thing is just making sure it's done. We're starting to get some good crust formations on our chicken. However, it is still not done yet. Now, cooking on too much of a high heat, you'll actually end up getting your crust on the outside of the chicken before you cook the internal texture of the chicken. So you'll want to make sure to cook this on a medium heat and not something too high. I really hope y'all try this too because it smells delicious. It actually smells delicious. This is also a really easy recipe to go ahead and meal prep for the week, which can be detrimental to some people. Some people don't have time during the week to cook, and so they want to do everything on Sunday and go and prep it for the week. You can do just about anything with this chicken recipe. You can make it on Sunday, then go ahead and have rice and some broccoli with it for dinner that night. And then the next night, put it in pasta. Those are so good on pasta. You can take leftovers and put it on kebabs. Ah, Kebabs would be good too. Man, I'm getting hungry. I'm so sorry. I'm rambling at this point because I'm also hungry. And this looks really good.
Ten years later.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Chicken is done. Hi. Welcome me back. Now we're going to make the garlic butter that's going to go on the chicken whenever it comes off the stove over there. Now, it's over there cooling for a second. There's nothing wrong with letting it cool. The butter's gonna be hot enough, and I don't want it to get soggy, so I want the chicken to have a minute to rest before I put this giant heaping of butter all over it. Now, a lot of people deem butter as unhealthy and everything else. Trust me, there are alternatives out there that are worse for you. So, we're going to cut right about here. You're going to want about 3 tablespoons of butter. With that, you're going to put this in the microwave for probably about 30 seconds. It probably won't even take that long, but put it in the microwave for 30 seconds. Then you're going to grab some minced garlic. You can use fresh minced garlic, however, or not fresh minced garlic, but fresh garlic that you mince yourself. I just don't have any with me. And we're going to need parsley. So I hear the butter bubbling, and it's not fully melted yet, and that is perfectly fine. What you're going to want to do is, before it's fully melted, you just want the butter to be softened. We're going to take a teaspoon of parsley, and we're going to take a teaspoon of garlic, minced garlic, delicious goodness. Now you just want basically maybe a teaspoon and a half, because you want the equivalent of what would be 3 garlic cloves minced. So we're going to take a teaspoon and a half. Put this back. And then actually we're just going to mix this in together. I'm going to use my little teaspoon measure here. I don't tend to use measuring things. I told you all that earlier. I'm doing this for you because I believe that everybody should know how to make a mean garlic butter at home. Now, this is unsalted butter. There's plenty of garlic in here. You don't need salt. Put it back in. It'll be done here in a few seconds. You should be able to hear your butter whenever it is done. Before that comes out, I'm just going to fold up this butter and put this back in the fridge. Yeah, I want y'all to look at this really quickly. I don't know how far away y'all are, but look at this. Then cooking that in the air fryer would be wonderful. Now, y'all, this is something that we're going to do that's crazy. I'm going to take this pan and this butter, and we're going to pour it all over this already flavorful chicken. Okay? And we're going to grab a pair of tongs, And we are going to toss it in that deliciousness. Now this chicken already has a great flavor to it. Already does. So if y'all are not a big fan of garlic, then I would suggest maybe leaving this part out. I'm just doing just the chicken with it. Now that this is all done, I'm gonna make some sides. Okay, y'all. And with that, your dinner is ready. This looks absolutely delicious. There is a little bit much for a portion serving, and I would love to make a vegetable with it. There's so many different vegetables you can make with this. You can even do potatoes or pasta with it instead of rice. Um, I'm probably going to toss some broccoli in the microwave for when we get ready to eat this. And we're going to do broccoli with this meal. However, it looks absolutely delicious. It smells delicious. And I know for a fact, y'all watched me try one. It tastes delicious. So I hope y'all enjoy. I hope this has convinced y'all a new reason as to why you should cook at home, because it has definitely convinced me for another reason I'm going to stay cooking at home. I will see y'all next time whenever we choose to talk about the cost effect and how it is more affordable to cook at home than it is to eat it out. Thank y'all so much.